Hey y'all, my name is Bailey. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm talking about my 2021 reading goals. Yes, it is February. We're not going to talk about that. It's going to be a short and sweet video. Just going through some of my goals for this year. So my overarching goal for this year is to read 100 books. Last year I read 125 and I only read from like August to December, so I do think that I'll make it. I'm almost to 50 as I film, so I think I'll break 50 in February, so I think I'm gonna make that one. So that's quite exciting, and if I do break 100 before June, I think then I'll definitely up my goal, probably just to 150, because I don't know if 200's in the cards since I'll be moving back to college in August. So we'll see about that one. One of my other goals is to read more fiction. My friends, there's more fiction on my TBR than nonfiction, and yet for the past like 3 years, the split has been half and half. I know a lot of people the opposite problem where they want to read more nonfiction. But for me, I just really want to read more fiction. That is kind of what I'm gravitating towards. And when I do read nonfiction, I want to make sure that they're quality books. I think I've read a lot of nonfiction the past couple years that is just like kind of fluffy. This year I've officially sworn off self-help books. No more self-help books. They're all scams. So I'm really hoping I can get to more nonfiction that is really valuable. I want to read more about like social justice, history, theory. Yeah, I don't want to read that fluffy, non-valuable, scammy stuff. Next, I want to read more audiobooks. Discovered audiobooks in like the end of July, start of August last year. Life changer, my friends. I read so many. I think a third of my reading last year was audiobooks, and so I do want to like keep those up. But I also found that I would sometimes like pressure myself to read audiobooks, and I would like not really have anything to do while I was listening to it. So I do want to become more mindful and like only have like one audiobook that I'm listening to at a time, or that I have like out from the library at a time, and really like only listen to it when I have things to do, when I'm driving or when I'm working on a project, like a craft project or working out. Not just like trying to make up tasks for myself, because in that case I should just like read a physical book. Read all these books I own and have read none of them. My next goal is to read the books that I buy. Yeah, 2020 kind of went crazy with buying a lot of books, and for me, it was a lot. And this year is looking to be similar. So I would like to read the books that I own, read the books there on my shelf. And so that is a goal. I don't know how that's gonna go, because I do work at a library, and I do love libraries. But we're gonna see. My last overarching goal is to work on mood reading. I have decided in 2021 I will not be making any TBRs. I do post TBRs on my Instagram at the start of each month, but it's more just like a suggestion list of things that I might read or that I'm thinking about. And I do always have like a list in my head of just things that are kind of on my radar or that I think would work good for that season. I love reading books in season. Winter books in winters, summer books in summer. But I'm not gonna like force myself to read anything. I'm really gonna work on just picking up books because it sounds really interesting. I just wanted to talk about a couple of the challenges I'm doing this year. I do hope to do some like month or week-long readathons, but there's a couple going on all year that are really fun that I'm really excited about. So one is Buzzwordathon, hosted by Kayla from Books and Lala. Oh, I'm pumped. This is really like a fun one because every month there is a buzzword. So for instance, in January it was dream, and then to participate is you read books on your TBR that have the word dream in it. So I read In the Dream House, Brown Girl Dreaming. February, the word is color, and that's more of like a theme, so any color would work. So like Black Flamingo I'm hoping to read, The House in the Cerulean Sea would work, Red, White, and Royal Blue, all books I need to get to soon. So that one just really works for me. Like every prompt I was like, oh yeah, there's many that would work for each of these prompts. So that is something I'm hoping to do every month. I am also doing the Pop Sugar reading challenge. I really know nothing about this website. I have no like stake in it or care that much about it, but I just saw it on the internet and I really liked all the prompts. They're all things that like I wanted to kind of do anyway, and I really liked this year there's like 40 or 42 prompts, and then there's like a bonus 10 or 12 prompts. There's 52 in total. I don't remember the split, but the like bonus ones are all related to your TBR personally. So it's like the shortest book on your TBR, the longest book, the one that's been on there the longest, things like that. And some of the other prompts are just like really work for me too. Reading like a dark academia book, book about social justice issue by Indigenous author. I mean, they just like all really worked for me, and I could think of books right away for like each of the prompts. So I decided to do that one as well. I also just have a few series I'm hoping to get to. I'm trying not to be like too ambitious because a lot of these series are somewhat long, at least for me. It's more than a duology, that's long to me. That's commitment, my friends, and I don't do that. So these are just a few of the series I'm really hoping to get to. One is the Kyoshi series by FCE. I'm also hoping to read Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. Everyone shades me because I literally bought the first book the day it came out, and I still have not ever read them. I own that one, I own Wayward Son, and now the third book is coming out. Like, the series is ending, and I still haven't read them. So my goal is to read those before the third book comes out so that I can just read the third book when it comes out and finish it off. I'm really all about completion this year. That reminds me of another one that I forgot to write down is The Parable of the Sower Earthseed series by Octavia Butler. I read Parable of the Sower, and then the second book I still have not read, and I read the first book in like October, so that is a hope. That one I'm like very confident that I will definitely get read. Like, of all the series on this list, I think that is I am most confident in that one. I'm also really excited for the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series is ending, and I've read the first book. I think I at one point started the second book, and then it was just one of those where I was enjoying it, I just got busy, and so I stopped reading it. But I own 4 of the 6 books, so I'm hoping to buy the 5th and 6th one and read them all throughout this year. I've heard so many good things about this series, and it's just really exciting for me. So I'm pumped about this one, especially it gives me like dark academia adjacent vibes, and I recently just read The Secret History and I really liked those vibes, so I'm looking for more books like that. The last couple of books are ones that I'm probably gonna get shaded for because I feel like everyone's read these series in their childhood, but The Chronicles of Narnia, which I started in January. I'm kind of taking a break from it because at this moment, because I was just not feeling it. But I just have the last 3 left, which coincidentally are the 3 that I never read as a child. I remember reading the other 4 at some point, but I never finished the series as a kid, so I really want to read the last 3, and then I also really want to read the Percy Jackson series. I'd like to eventually get to all of Rick Riordan's books. I love him on Twitter, but I feel bad that I've never read anything by him, so I'm hoping to read definitely Percy Jackson. I'd love to read another, like, maybe one of his trilogies that he has out this year, but we'll see because there's a lot going on this year. And then finally, I have a lot of rereads that I'm hoping to catch up on. I don't usually do that much rereading, but this year I really want to prioritize it because there's a lot of books that I consider favorites and I realized I haven't read since I was like 15. And then I realized that was like 6 years ago. And that gave me existential crisis. So I really want to see if I still enjoy these books and if I could still consider them favorites. And some I just like, I know I loved them, but I'm like, I don't know what it was about. You know what I mean? So a few examples of that would be, like, I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson, which my best friend read last year, and she says it holds up, so I'm actually really excited for this one. Ariane Dante, Discover Secrets of the Universe. I'm really pumped for this one. I do remember a lot about it. I'm just really excited to read again because I remember it being such beautiful language. And we just found out the second book is coming out in October. So, oh my god. I'm so ready to reread this. I'm so ready for the second book. Oh my gosh, 2021 is going to be a great year of new releases, let me tell you. Some others would be Every Exquisite Thing by Matthew Quick and Forgive Me Leonard Peacock by Matthew Quick. I read both of these and I like loved them in high school, and I was like, Matthew Quick is my new favorite author, and I never read anything else by him, and honestly have very little memory of what these books are about besides that like I love them and I found them really powerful. So I'm really hoping to read these again and hopefully read other stuff by Matthew Quick because I know he has many books that I would love to read for sure. In terms of a couple series I'd like to reread, luckily these are both duologies, nothing too crazy. But I really want to reread the Six of Crows series. I love this series. I consider it my favorite book series, but the details are getting kind of hazy for me, so I really want to reread this. Another series that I'm really looking forward to that I don't think I've read since middle school, but we're not going to talk about that. But it's called The Roar and the Whisper. The two books by Emma Clayton. I don't know, I think the series is just called The Roar series, but this was like a fantastic book. I feel like this is like Ready Player One Junior, so I actually am hoping to read Ready Player One first for the first time, and then reread these to just like see what the differences, if they're like at all similar. The reason I compare them is because there's like a video game competition in this series. There's also like it follows this boy and his sister, maybe his twin sister, is missing, and it like takes place in London. Like the whole world is living in London. Like people live like 26 floors underground, and then there's like skyscrapers taller than we could imagine because everyone in the world lives in this like concentrated space, and there's like big walls because there's like, I don't remember, something's going on outside of the walls, and very divergent-y, let me tell you. So these I just remember like loving at the time, and I still have them, and I'm like, because I always thought like, oh my god, I love these books, so I really want to reread them and actually like know, were they quality or was it just 8th grade me hungry for stories, you know? And then finally, the last few books that I'm hoping to reread are all ones that I do think are objectively good. I just like don't really remember them that well. So one is The Great Gatsby. I remember reading this when I was 15. I was like, oh my god, wow, favorite book. I don't know if I will still feel that way, but I just like honestly don't remember that much about it. And with The Chosen and the Beautiful by Niveau coming out this year, I want to like re-immerse myself in this story and kind of remember what it's about and all the themes before I read that one, which comes out in June. Then I'm also hoping to read The Little Prince. This is my favorite book of all time, so I know that I will love it again. Every time I reread this, I get something new out of it. But it's just been probably 3 years almost since I've reread this. I don't think I've reread it since I started college, which is crazy. And then the last few is Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. I love this book. I consider it one of my favorites, but And this is one where the details aren't hazy. I remember a lot, but I just love this story and I want to read it again. And then the last one would be History Wolves by Emily Fridland. This one completely fell off my radar, and I was watching like a backlist video by Ruby Granger, and she was saying how good this book was, and like I think it was in her like 200 books she recommends video. She's like, I love this book, was amazing, I highly recommend it. And I was like, oh my god, I've read that, but I don't remember anything about it. And so actually I'm hoping to read that this month. I just checked out from the library because I figured I should still read it while it's still winter and, you know, snow. So that is all for my 2021 reading goals. I would love if you watched this far, please comment down below with a sparkle emoji and tell me what your reading goals are for 2021, or if you have any. You know, maybe you're going rogue, I don't know. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Thank you for watching. Keep reading what makes you happy.